Hi, Soak the Nail here. A few more thoughts on the saga of Lonely Girl and Daniel Beast. And I have a question for YouTube. Love to hear back about this. What does it mean that YouTubers like you and I are scrutinizing this little melodrama? It seems to me that there's something universal in it, something familiar. Many people have been in similar situations or at least seen it before, unless you never went to high school. The characters are practically archetypes. You have the stereotypical 16-year-old girl, sheltered by her parents, and who appears to be so naive that some of it must be an act. You get a pretty average young guy who seems like he's probably pretty intelligent, but still has no clue about girls. You got a lot to learn, dude. The fact that all of it is being played out on YouTube doesn't really change anything. It's usually played out in the public arena of the high school cafeteria with people commenting, offering advice. It's not that different. I've seen some comments and some video replies to the effect that Daniel and Bree should sit down and talk it over. I'm sorry, but I disagree. They should avoid each other for a while. And if you end up hanging out again, guys, cool. What you don't need is another awkward conversation because you're trying to share your feelings. Just laugh about all of this. It's just a silly little episode. Don't take yourselves too seriously. Bree, you're smart. I know because you've gone out of your way in your other videos to point it out. But let me share some information with you your parents haven't let you figure out yet. Most guys are attracted to you. A large majority of them. You should just assume that they are. You're not fat, you're not ugly, and you can carry on a normal conversation. That's all it takes. That makes you a viable mate for a male of your age group. Most of the boys and men you meet in your life will see you that way. You should just assume that every guy you meet likes you. Especially if they go out of their way to hang out in your bedroom. I think you were just pretending not to know that already. Also, you should not expect a guy to be candid about how he feels about you if you're not being truthful about how you feel about him. Either you were leading Daniel on, or you liked him back. I think it was the latter. Daniel. I know this is probably embarrassing for you. I'm not going to let that stop me from telling you that you were already screwing up whatever opportunity you had with Bree before she popped the question. It seems obvious to me she was waiting for you to sweep her off her feet with some dramatic and romantic gesture. I know, that's not my style either. But what never works is just waiting for it to happen. You do have to be proactive. A guy should always make it clear that he's interested, just not too interested. I have found that what works best is to keep the focus on how she feels about you. This gives you some great opportunities to be confident and puts you in charge of the situation. For instance, when she asks you, "People on YouTube think you like me, do you?" You might have replied, "I think they were picking up on the fact that you like me." That's how I would handle it, because it reverses the situation and puts the ball back in her court without really having a risk of an awkward rejection. Now, about Bree's parents. You know, it can be a big, bad world. I have a daughter, and it scares me to think of her growing up in this hypersexualized cultural atmosphere. And teenagers can make some terrible decisions that impact their whole lives. I can't blame them for wanting to protect their child. Do they go overboard? Probably. But teenagers have a tendency to overstate their parents' strictness or control. Now, I've rambled on for long enough. I'll let you go. Just a few more thoughts. Love to hear what you guys think.